good morning to you. Welcome back to Morning Live for the Sports Desk. My name is Vusiwe Ngobo. Now today on this Women's Day, we look at a woman who really has played such a meaningful role in sports in the country. It is the one and only Shauwn Mkhize. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Sports on Morning Live.
Good morning, V. Good morning to the listeners. Thank you for having me. Happy Women's Day.
Thank you so much. Happy Women's Day to you too. So let's start here. You clearly are not a person that loves comfort zones because you've acquired 2 football teams in what is a male-dominated industry. And both times you came in as an outsider into what many would say is a well-established team. Talk us through that experience for you and the reasons behind that.
I must say it's been a difficult journey. But I love challenge. And I think challenge makes me to work harder. And I like to take on something that people, they believe it's impossible and turn the impossibilities into possibilities. But I must say, it has never been an easy journey, but I've been rolling on that journey.
And you have been rolling on that journey, and now you find yourself in the DStv Premiership with Royal AM, the men's team. But this is something you've always wanted, to compete at the highest level of football in South Africa. When did you sit down and say, I want a team in the DStv Premiership one day?
I've been on the Glad Africa for quite some time, I think 4 years. And the final year where there was a story, me being promoted and me not being promoted, I've told myself that I'm not doing Glad Africa anymore. That's why I was pushing so hard to be promoted. And whatever that has happened, it has led to me to say, I've told myself I'm not going to be there. No matter what happened, I'm not going back to Glad Africa. And boy, oh boy, it's been difficult. Can you imagine landing into the PSL, the Premier League, 4 days before the league starts? You haven't done the pre-season. You just pulling everything together. You've got 2 teams together that are looking at you to make sure that you make it work. But Yane, we tried. We tried.
You tried and you made it work. And something else that is very difficult coming in to the PSL as a new team, there's always this thing that everyone talks about. You do so well in your first season. Your second season is the real test where we see what you're really made of. Talk us through that pressure. And also coming into this new season, we know you've got your 3 co-coaches, if I can call them that. Talk us through that decision as well to go with that type of format.
I must say, the pressure is too much. Because when they talk, they'll be like, you've done so well in the first season. Certain teams, I don't want to mention names, when they came in, they did so well. The next season, they were facing relegation. They did so well. They didn't even try to make it to the top 8. So if you look at it, it's worse with us. We are going to Africa. There's Africa, there's MTN 8, there's Nedbank. And when people already, they are seeing you to fail. So you must put a lot of effort and extra work on it. The reason for the co-coaching, I felt like I need to introduce something that will bring a spice, that will also add value to Royal AM, because the 3 coaches that I have, they all have different quantities, beautiful quantities on each and every one of them, and they're all the legends.
Yes.
So for me, if you put the legends together, you come up with something that is firecracking, fireworks.
Firecracking, fireworks. Something else that I want to talk to you about is competing on the continent. We've heard so many teams in the past talk about it's so challenging, not only from having to play so many games in a short period of time, but also from a financial point of view. How are you approaching that as Royal AM?
I must say, number one, I was speaking to Sis Magdo the other day. Before the season finished, she was like saying to me, you must understand the expense and the challenges that you're going to be facing if you go to CAF, really. And I was like, okay. But now I'm here. There's no turning back. I have to make good of it. And I understand that it's difficult. I understand that when we get there, they treat us bad. So it's like when you're pregnant. You know, when you're pregnant, it's nice when people are saying to you, it's painful when you go there.
Yeah.
So at least everybody has told me that
they've prepared
it's difficult. They've prepared my mind psychologically. So when I go there, I'm expecting the worst. So I'm preparing for the worst.
And we know when it comes to Royal AM, in terms of ambience and vibe at the stadium, it's Gopu, always on standby. But what is it that you're doing as a team to try and make sure your fans come out and support you, particularly with your home games and not having to wait for a big opener like you up against the Kaizer Chiefs, the Sundowns or Orlando Pirates?
I must say, the support base that we've received from KZN so far, it's amazing. You know, last year we went to play with Chipa. To our surprise, when we went to the stadium, we had people waiting for us to receive us in the Eastern Cape. That's not our territory. And for us, I must say, we appreciate everybody that gives us support. And I know they are all worried about the T-shirts, that they are not getting the T-shirts because they are not happy with buying it online. We are working on getting the T-shirts for Royal AM in all the shops.
And you know something, Shauwn, is just sometimes people are always just sitting waiting for you to fail. They're just like, oh, she bought a club, it won't do well. Oh, now she's venturing into women's football, it won't be successful. How do you keep yourself grounded and focus on the tasks that you've set for yourself, on the things that you want to achieve, and not allowing the noise? Because sometimes the noise just overtakes everything else. How do you not let that noise in?
I will never, ever allow the noise of the world to determine where I want to go. If my journey, I've set my journey and I set my goals. If my goals are going that way, nothing will stop me. And I will never give up. No matter how difficult it is, I'll never give up. You see, as we are in the Women's Man, I've just went into the Women's League and bought the Women's Soccer Club because I felt like nobody was paying attention to them, but they were doing so well. I would have expected them coming back for everybody, like how we're doing for Bafana Bafana when they're playing, wearing the T-shirts, South African T-shirts. I was expecting that hype, and we didn't get that hype, and that is what I want to change. I want to see even the big teams like the Kaizer Chiefs, all the teams that are in the PSL, to come and have their teams in the women's football so that we'll attract more sponsors and make it look as nice as how the men's is looking. Look at our lady in the golfer. She has done so well. Look at our boxer lady. She has done so well. But there's no noise.
It's quiet, you are right, it is quiet. But one thing we have noticed about you is you're very consistent in terms of what you do on the men's side of the team. You replicate that with the women. I mean, we saw you out in Malahleni this past weekend supporting the girls. And surely that's something that you also want to always carry through, to just say what we do on the left, we must do on the right.
As I've told you before, when I came to the league, I wanted to bring something different. I wanted to bring the atmosphere. I wanted to bring, you know, when you go to America or to Europe, and if you look at the soccer pitch there, and it's full, it's Rainbow Nation. I know most of the people are saying, why Chatsworth? If you look at Chatsworth, it's got different people. And I want Royal AM to have Rainbow Nation on the stadium. And for me, to be sitting there amongst them, they must feel that we are all the same. I sit there with them, even though sometimes they worry me, but it's okay. I sit there with them, we are all the same. And I'm also a supporter for my club.
We heard you in the stands. We heard you in the stands, certainly supporting them. And finally, as I wrap up with you, some of the challenges that you have experienced in this male-dominated industry. I mean, you come in, you're the president, you've got big bags. What are some of the challenges you've faced, and how have you navigated through that? And as you say your parting words, perhaps just your words of encouragement to a young girl sitting at home saying, Nami, one day I want to be a Shauwn Mkhize. Nami, I want to get into football or any other male-dominated industry, be it sports or otherwise.
You know, I know our mothers and everybody, they fought for gender equality. And I know we are told that we are equal, it's 50-50. That's still a long way to go. Because I can tell you now, in all those 15 teams that are in the league now, they can be beaten by anyone, but they don't want to be beaten by. It's not even, they don't even say Royal AM. They take it like, I can't be beaten by Mkhize. No, that woman can never beat me. It's always like that. But what you need to do as a woman is never give up. You know, when I came in, there was so many noise. I'm sure you've seen Twitter. She doesn't know what she's doing. Why she has to bot herself up to the PSL. I didn't bot myself up. I was promoted. But at the end of the day, that noise, you must use it to encourage you, to show those that they don't have faith and those that they don't believe in you, to say it's possible. Black child, it's possible. Just focus and close your ears. Don't listen to the noise of the world. Do what you have to do.
Just keep your head down and do the work.
Keep it up.
Thank you so much, Shauwn, for your time this morning, and good luck for the season that just started in terms of the DStv Premiership and as well in the Hollywood Bet Super League, rather, with the Bloemfontein Celtic women's team.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Right, that is, of course, Shauwn Mkhize, the president of Royal AM, talking all things football, and she's really just saying all you need to do is shut out the noise, keep your head down, and get the work done, and the results will speak for themselves. That's how we wrap up your sports bulletin in this hour.